Hello and welcome to this video. This video is all about finding help in Matlab. Now, there are several ways in which you can find help in Matlab, and I'll just run through a couple of them. And let me start from the Matlab website itself. And I won't cover all the way you can find help using Matlab website, but I want to mention two things. First, I'll start with a set of trainings that are available on Matlab's website. Now, there are several trainings that are available. Some are for free, so I'll start by highlighting those are for free. Typically, they have the name on ramp, ONRAMP, on ramp. So, for example, if this is your first time with Matlab, then this is the first place to get help if you want to have a simple basic training in Matlab on ramp. Take note that this is free. You could, if you're first time with Simulink, you could take Simulink on ramp, machine learning on ramp, deep learning on ramp, reinforcement learning, image processing, signal processing, Simscape. There are state flow and control design. You could take all these ones for free. And if you want a deeper dive, then you could now go into the core of Matlab or of some of the toolboxes you have in Matlab, and then you could take these other courses that are down here. Now, there are several more than what is listed here, but these are not paid. Unfortunately, these are not free. They are paid options, and you could take them, and they are very, very good in introducing you into Matlab. So that's the first place I will mention of getting help. The second place I'll mention for getting help using Matlab is, let's check, there's a site, let's say matlabcentral.com. Okay, so I typed in matlabcentral.com. Actually, it is mathworks.com/matlabcentral, but matlabcentral.com will take you to the same place. Now, this is an open exchange where people, where it's a community where you can ask questions and receive answers, and you could just go through. Questions are constantly being asked, and answers are constantly being provided by several people. You could also provide answers. If you have answers to anything, people could vote on answers and all of that. So you could go to MATLAB Answers, for example, where you could ask questions or receive answers. But I'm also interested in what you have, this place called File Exchange. Now here, people actually do write their code, and in some cases just make their code available globally for use anywhere. So for example, let's say we're interested in doing let's just pick something. Let's just type something we want to search for. We're interested in, say, deep learning, and we're interested in using maybe an embedded system. Let's say Arduino. Okay, deep learning with Arduino. Let's just say I pull out there, or maybe I should just type the microcontroller. But let's just say with Arduino, and it just goes ahead to. So apparently, somebody has asked this question. Notice this is MATLAB Answers. So somebody has asked the question before, how to convert neural network from MATLAB code to Arduino IDE. Somebody has asked that question. Maybe that's what you're interested in. Just go ahead and read that. Or somebody else asked the question, can anyone explain how this code generated from neural networks, how to apply this code in Arduino IDE. You could be interested in that. Optionally, let's go to File Exchange. Notice at the top right here, you have File Exchange. So let's go to, by the way, there are also videos, there are answers, you could go through any of those. Now, if you come to what you have on a File Exchange, you have optimization of roads 3D using machine learning. That probably, I don't know if that talks about Arduino. This one talks about ARM Cortex-M, okay? So deploying shallow neural networks on a low power ARM Cortex-M. Let's assume I'm interested in that. Let's just click on that. Now, this is not okay, well, ARM contrast such as Arduino Uno. So if you want to deploy it on something such as an Arduino Uno, now this was made by MATLAB staff, but not all of the files here were made by MATLAB staff, but this was made by MATLAB staff. So you could read through this and look at the functions that exist inside that were created in here. Look at the models, in Simulink models that were created for this. And you could just come here, click on download. Do you want a zip or do you want a toolbox? Download this, put it inside MATLAB and go ahead and use it. In some cases, I'm trying to check for that now. In some cases, they also specify the version of MATLAB that was used to create this, so that, okay, so this was created with release 2018A. So that if you're using an earlier version, but it says compatible with any release, so that's fine, that's good for you, except that, well, maybe some very early versions, if you're using MATLAB 6.1 several years ago, I don't know if it will be compatible with that. However, it's compatible with several things. But since they say compatible with any release, then it's very likely it is supported for, way back, it probably will work with 2009 version, maybe. But however, I'm not sure that very many people are still using MATLAB 2009. So that is getting help using MATLAB's website itself. Let's go into MATLAB itself, and let's say we wanted to find help. Say we wanted to find help on how to find the median of a number, or say we want to Yeah, let's say we want to find the median of a number. How do we find the median of a number? If you know the command, you could go a certain path. Now you could click on help here and search inside help, but let me not start from there. Let me start from this button over here. Now, if you click on this, if you mouse over, it simply says browse for functions. You could press Shift F1, that does exactly the same thing. If you click on this button, it brings up this window, and this is a quick search window where you can quickly search for things. If you want to drag this, you can always resize this as you wish. So you can just search for things. So for instance, if you type median, I don't have to press enter, just type. Once you start typing, it starts searching. Okay, so median, and it gives me a couple of options. Let's see this first one. Just keeping my mouse over it, you have this callout bubble that comes here, and you have this MATLAB function returns the median value of A. So I assume A is an array, since everything in MATLAB is array. Oh, it even says it in the topic, median value of array. So that probably is what we're interested in. So the command is whatever variable we're interested in is equal to median of whatever array we're interested in. Now, you might want more information about this. We know the command is median. So let's go ahead and type help space median. That will give us help on median, on the function with the name median. So if you know the name of the function, help space that function name will go ahead and give you help on that function. So if you just scroll through, you can see for vectors, median x will give you the median middle element. If it is not just a vector, if it's an n by d array, then it's the median of the value of the element along the first non-singleton dimension of x. So the point is, you could read through all of this, and then if you scroll down, you also see a couple of examples that have been used in here. Now, in this case, notice that this is an array. It's not a one-dimensional array. It has 2 dimensions, and you can have the command written this way: median of x comma 1. In other words, find the median in one direction, or find the median that's along the rows, or find the median along the columns. So that's the second, or if you want, third, fourth way, who is counting. So that's one way you can find help. If you know the name of the function, help space that function. Now let me point out something else here. At the very bottom, take note you have this region that says see also. See also presents some functions that are similar to median, or they are related to median. Now, in some cases, you might not necessarily know how to, okay, for example, let's take another example. Say I type help space SIN. I want to find the sine of an angle. The angle is in degrees. Now, if I type SIN, this finds the sine of an argument that is in radians. Now, I'm interested in one that is in degrees. I could go to FX and search, or if I check on that C also, notice I have A sine. What is A sine? Well, I can tell you that is arc sine, in other words, the inverse sine. What is SIND? Let's click on it. If I click on it, it says sine of argument in degrees. There we are. We found what we want. So in some cases, you may not know the exact command, but you may know something similar to it. If you know something similar to it, you could type the help on that, and it just might very well work for you. Another way we could find help in MATLAB, in this particular case, if I wanted more information about sine of an argument in degrees, then I could just click on this reference page. And what that will do is that will open up the help window. Okay, so if I click on that, that opens up the help window, and that's the MATLAB documentation, and you could now go through the same function in depth. Usually there'll be examples in here. If there are diagrams, there might be diagrams in some cases. In some cases, you might even have a live script. And in fact, this example here is a live script. So you could open up the live script and type in commands and try out a couple of things and see how this actually works for you. So using the Matlab Help window or the documentation is a beautiful way to find help, except that it can be faster sometimes to just help space SIND. It tells you how to use it. You go ahead and use it immediately instead of having to open up another window. To open up MATLAB's help window, you could just click on this button here or press F1. That opens MATLAB's documentation, okay? But then that will just take you to the home page of the documentation where you can now search for whatever it is you're looking for. On the other hand, if you are looking for help on a particular command, you could have just typed DOC and then the name of that command. So for instance, SIND, and it now opens up the documentation again for that particular command. But in this case, I did not have to, first of all, type help SIND and then I'll click on this. I could have just gone straight and it opens this up and we could find help this way. Okay, thank you. So in this video, what we have covered is how this finding help using MATLAB, and I've shown you a number of ways. Just to kind of recap them very quickly, you could use MATLAB documentation, click on this button or type doc space the command. You could type help space the command. You could press the FX button, or you could go to MATLAB's website itself. Take these trainings that you have, the MATLAB and Simulink trainings that you have on their website. Note, by the way, there are many more courses than this. You go to find a course, you find many courses in here. Okay, so there are several self-based courses. There are instructor-led courses also. And at the very bottom of this page, you see that there are several more. You could click on see all courses, and you find several more in there. Or you could go to matlabcentral.com, or if you want, mathworks.com/matlabcentral, and there you could find there's a file exchange there where somebody may have actually put up a sample code that you might be able to use in there for your work. So these are just a sample of some of the courses that you have on MATLAB's website. I mean, there are several things in there you probably want to go through, depending on what you're interested in: data science, programming application, image processing, signal processing, modeling, simulation, control, and algorithm design, physical modeling, HDL code generation. I don't know if you knew that, but you could generate your VHDL or Verilog code right from within Simulink. You could create a Simulink model and create a VHDL equivalent of that using Simulink. If you didn't know how to do that, you could do that. You could take a lesson on it here. C code generation also, you could do that in here. Thank you.